Welcome to OK Now What? I'm your host, Kate Gladden, episode 13. This is a show for people who know life doesn't happen to you, life happens, and the impact it has is up to you. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the show. I am so excited. It is officially fall here in Wyoming now. We after a stressful couple of weeks with all those bushfires and just endless smoke and worry about the communities, even our place kind of felt a little bit under threat for a little bit. Over the last 24 hours, it's completely changed. We got not only some rain, but even some snow here. I'm looking out over the mountains now, and they're just like covered in white, and the trees are popping with colors, and it's nice and cool. And I'm like, finally, it's autumn time, and I'm so excited. So I am making the most of the good vibes and gratitude that I have for Mother Nature finally giving us a break, and also to all those amazing volunteers and firefighters who helped keep everyone safe over the last few weeks. Yeah, forever grateful to you all. I thought, you know what? I just want to do like a feel good episode this week, um, to kind of help you also, I guess, take in the feel good vibes and remember, like, for every terrible news article that we read or sad story that we hear and tragedy and next thing to worry about, there's also so much good, not only in this world, but in our humanity and in our humans and in our fellow humans. And so I wanted to share this story that I saw on Facebook, actually, initially. But I'm going to read a little bit of it from, I'll give kudos to and credit to Fairplay fairplayinternational.org. So I'm going to read the story out just off the screen because I don't want to mess it up. I want to get the details right. But it's, I guess, a little bit of story time we're going to do together today. And then I just want to, I think the message will be pretty clear, but I want to reflect on it and encourage you to reflect on it. Like, what do you personally take away from this story? Because it certainly inspired me to do some self-reflecting on it too, about what it really means to be a winner, and the winner mentality. What does that really stand for? Because this story is about two athletes. One is called Abel Mutai, and the other one is Ivan Fernandez. So I don't know if you guys have heard this story before, but back in 2012, both of these athletes, Ivan and Abel, were competing in a cross country race together. And it was a big deal. Like, they're representing their countries, and it's I think Abel was even a bronze medalist in the Olympics. So this is high level competitive sports in cross country. And they were kind of at each other the whole entire race, kind of keeping each other's paces, pushing each other. Like, it was super close until right near the end, Abel Mutai kind of starts sprinting away towards the finish line. So it's like, okay, here he goes. Abel's going to win. Abel's going to win. And then he happens to stop short of the finish line by a few feet because he got confused with the signage and kind of stopped, thinking that he'd already completed the race. If you look at the video, you'll kind of see him slow down. And then there's the Spanish runner, Ivan Fernandez, is still right behind him there. And he realizes what's happening. Like, oh crap. Abel thinks like he's already finished the race. And so rather than just like sprinting past him to take the gold medal from him, he starts actually shouting at Abel, like, hey, keep going along. Like, he keeps pushing the Kenyan runner along until he gets to the finish line, because he started speaking to Abel in Spanish, but he didn't understand it. So he literally like starts pushing and pointing him to the finish line. And as they cross over, you kind of see them, like, you see Abel look back and almost in shock and complete awe that Ivan did that for him. And they shake hands, and it's just like the most inspiring thing to see, that someone who could have easily taken advantage of the mistake that Abel made, in fact, helped him course correct and make sure that he took the gold rather than Ivan getting it. And a journalist afterward actually asked Ivan, why did you do that? You know, that's kind of crazy. You could have just, you pushed hard for the race too. Why didn't you take it? And Ivan replied, my dream is that someday we can have a kind of community life where we push and help each other to win. Then the journalist insisted further, but why did you let the Kenyan win? Ivan replied, I didn't let him win. He was going to win. The race was here. But the journalist insisted again, but like you could have won. Ivan looked at him and replied, but what would be the merit of my victory? What would be the honor in that medal? What would my mother think of that? And I just want you to sit for a moment and really think about putting yourself in Ivan's shoes and think a lot of us would like to think that we do what Ivan did and really inspire along his fellow competitor that was so close to victory and just made a human mistake and mistook the finish line. But to be honest, I know past me, especially before my sister had passed away, and I was so wrapped up on just trying to be the best. And I was ready to like climb that corporate ladder and do whatever it takes and skip the family dinners and birthdays and do all these things because I need to get this goal that I've set for myself, no matter the cost. And I really think now that I'm a little older, I'm doing my best to realize like, even in my own business, like I'm certainly not running a cross country race. You won't catch me. You won't catch me running one of those anytime soon anymore. But I think about like what's the equivalent in my life where there is a chance I could sell out a little. Like I could maybe earn a little bit more money, get more clients, get more attention, get more of a following. But what am I not willing to do because the way it would go against my own morals, values, like it would just weigh on my conscience too much because like sure that like I said Ivan could have got the gold medal but how would he really feel about it in those moments when you're looking yourself in the mirror in the mornings or falling asleep at night like that's the one internal voice you can't shut off is the one of what you think of yourself and I realized like the true gold medal in life is living true to the person you want to be like living true to your own values, having that integrity. Like everyone's yapping on about, I want more confidence. It's like, no, what you really want is more integrity to live true to your values and what you care about and your priorities, because then it's easy to be confident because you just like yourself so much more when you're being who you want to be in the world. And I think, you know, this race is iconic and remembered in history because of the way that I think Ivan showed us of the capacity for good in humans that we do always have that choice even when the ability to undercut someone to take advantage of someone's loss or mistake and turn it around into a win for us sure we could do that but we also have the capacity to remember what really matters most in life even in the greatest race of your life greatest competition greatest I don't know client meeting or trying to out perform someone else, whether it's in business or sports or, whatever it is. I think it's just for me, like I could, like I think about like with my coaching and stuff, do like more of especially when I'd been working with teens, it's like scale it into groups and memberships, and then that way you can make so much more money. But like for me, what I love the most is like that one-on-one connection that you can get with your clients. Even now, as I work with adults, it's like that one-on-one connection. I know, sure, I could make more money if I scaled it out, but that would just be me doing what some random marketing people say is the real win for business is this scalability. When for me, I care so much about personal connections, making a real impact, diving deeper in with people rather than just spreading myself thinner and wider. And so I'm not really willing to do that. And I think about even with my sister, and she was an incredible dancer. And I think, you know, years and years later, I've heard people share about like they were backstage and they couldn't get their ribbons done up right. And they were like literally competitors. But rather than my sister sitting back going, well, I'll just let her struggle with her ribbons on her ballet shoes because then they might come undone and then maybe I'll win. It's she was there like helping make sure the ribbons were tucked properly in to that girl's shoes. And I know now like the legacy that my sister left in this world on me, on anyone who knew her, was about her character and not her achievements. She was never the best dancer, the best journalist, but she always gave her best, not just to what she was doing, but to those around her. And I think that that to me is really the gold medal mentality that's going to make sure, I'm not saying like undercut yourself on purpose, but certainly don't undercut other people on purpose. Like, what do you take away from this story of Fernandez and um Abel? Like, what do you think you really want to focus on ensuring you live true to in terms of your own morals, values, your own conscience, like of what really matters most and where you don't want to, even if there's the option to take advantage of that because it just wouldn't sit right for you. You know, I think about in business sometimes there's the opportunity for a promotion or maybe you get more credit for doing a project or a presentation and at the end of the day you didn't really do as much as your colleague. Are you going to take that praise on and go, oh, thank you, and look greater in the boss's eyes? Or are you going to take that moment to go, actually, you know what? That was actually more Sam or Sarah who did more of the work. It wasn't really on me, right? Or even, you know, I'm just trying to think of there's so many ways, even with sports, if you still play sport, it's like, you know, if you see an athlete kind of struggling, are you going to stop for a second to make sure they're okay or keep kind of chasing down the field? Like there's certain moments where we've got to remember there's a there's a bigger thing than any goal that we're setting or trying to achieve. And that's like what really matters in life. And also just like knowing you're always going to have a bigger impact when you're taking a moment to remind people around you of our capacity to to do good things, to be the good thing in a circumstance and not undercut just because you have the chance. Now, what's interesting is Ivan Fernandez's coach was like, well, he shouldn't have, it might have made him a better person, but it didn't make him a better athlete and he shouldn't have done it. But I never want to get myself so caught up in a title or an identity like, oh, but it could be a better coach or a better businesswoman. It's like, no, still beneath it all, I am a human and I want to remember that above anything else, like shed all the labels and the identities from me. I just want to be a good human first and foremost and not do anything that undercuts feeling proud of myself at the end of the day for how I handled myself. It's so cliche, but character really does count most, right? Like Ivan goes down in history not because he, you know, had he won a gold medal, no one would remember that race. Or if anything, it would have been like, oh, that was the time that he shortcutted, like cut off the canyon and ran straight past him and didn't think to turn back. Like almost that medal would be tainted in a way. But now he doesn't have that gold medal, but he's got that gold medal mentality of knowing the real race we're racing in life, the real journey we're going on is a human life journey and holding on to our integrity and our character, even when maybe we could have our names in the bright lights and get the awards or the title. Like I also think about you know, there's someone I'm coaching and she's trying to become an actress and her friend actually didn't tell her when one of the auditions was for acting and she was a bit bummed out, but you know, we spoke about it and she's like, you know what, I want to message her because I know of another audition. And, you know, we just don't want it, she doesn't want to mirror back that scarcity mindset mentality of trying to cut out the competition and really believing like responding to situations like that from the best of your character and holding on to that is what matters most. And so I think there is that there's so many ways that we can take that, even if you're not a sports person or an athlete. I think we can all take something from what Ivan Fernandez chose to do in the finish of this race and to not cut Abel off, but to inspire him and push him forward and really know that integrity, character, good values, and morals is really what matters most, is really what makes you a gold medal human. Maybe not a gold medal athlete, but a gold medal human, a gold metal human who people want to be around. And that's the beautiful thing. The more you give, the more you're likely to get back. But we don't do it for the sake of other people liking us better. We do it for the sake of liking ourselves better. And if you want to really do what I had to do at 20 years old, sit down and write a funeral speech, whether it's for yourself or someone you care about. It will unravel how much all these trophies and awards and titles and money and all this judge really fades away. And all you're remembered for is your character, who you choose to be in moments where it may have been easy to do one thing and you choose to do the harder yet better, more loving, kind, generous thing to do. That's really what leaves a legacy. Maybe not a legacy in a bank account. Like, sure, maybe I'm missing out, leaving some money on the table in my business by not doing certain things, but I leave integrity and keep integrity in my heart. And that to me is what matters. And I'm able to show up for my life so much better. I'm actually able to give more to my business and my relationships when I stay true to that. So that's what I encourage you to think about and take away from this story and look at, like, where in my life do I have a moment to step up and live into the mentality and attitude that Ivan chose to show that day, even if it cuts me short a little bit in a title and an award and a promotion or something like that. I give myself that gold medal because I'm winning at the biggest game in all of this, and that's the game of life, and this whole journey that we're on. So that was my sentimental, feel good little story for today as I sit in the beautiful fall mountains here in Wyoming. I want you to live true to your capacity to do good things this week ahead, and remember that the true gold medal mentality is to live with integrity no matter what. Hey there, thanks for tuning in to the show. Are you looking for an inspiring speaker for your next event, conference, or company meeting? Check out my website, kategladden.com, where you can learn more about my impactful keynote presentations that empower people to change the way they respond to adversity. Less complaining, less drama, and less stress, and more recognizing, reflecting, and redirecting. That is the key to resilience, and I'd love to share it at your next event. Learn more at kategladden.com.